Well, welcome back to my hemp community. We've had some requests from the hemp industry on going through the 4 policies that we have and just do a really quick high-level overview of what makes the policy good, and then jump into kind of a range, an average range of what those premiums will be for each one of those policies. So at your guys' demand, we're going to go ahead and go through that really quick. The first one we obviously have is the APH plan policy. That's the federal crop insurance policy. It is highly subsidized, covers all weather perils. It also covers earthquake, wildlife damage, insects, volcanic eruption. Covers reduced yields due to insurable damage. You must have a contract. You must have 1 prior year of growing in the county that you're going to insure for 2020. You have to have at least 5 acres for CBD, 20 acres for fiber and grain. All right, that was pretty quick, so we're going to move on. I'll bump back for a second. The APH plan policy has a range of premium between, roughly, depends on where you're at, between 3% and 10%, okay, for grower premium. Next up, crop hail policy. Great policy, covers against hail, fire, and lightning. Offering coverage limits of $10,000 and up, depending on how many acres you have. It has an $8 million cap per farm. And obviously, it's a proven policy. It's been around forever. It works really well. There's some great adjusters out there. The loss standards for the hemp policy have been redeveloped. They are great. It's a great policy to have if you have concerns of hail. You must meet all state and federal regulations. You have to have a worksheet submitted for prior to approval before we have 2-hour binding. We have to work through a worksheet. They can put that on file. Then it's good for 7 days. If you want insurance, we pull the trigger, get it signed, then you have 2-hour binding, which is awesome. Rates on that are, for premium, is anywhere between about 1% to about 8% of the total liability. So that's pretty cost effective. The parametric based system we have captures plant weather environment. It covers differences in season lengths, different timing of key stages, different impact weather variables, all affects yields. It has a flat rate, 12%, so you know going into what it's going to be. All payouts are determined at the county level. And like we said, back to the premium, that's a 12% flat rate. Okay, the last one we got is the e-weather risk. It guards against any key weather perils. You can choose the acres and the geography to enroll. Claims will not be based on THC. So if you have high THC or hot hemp, the policy is still good. It's still a valid policy, which is great for all of you that do have concerns about high THC levels. Sales closing dates throughout the year, which is great. So we're not shut down by one sales closing date. There are multiple throughout the growing season. So obviously the products on that, we have the parametric hail, frost, the lack of rain, excess planting rain, excess harvest rain, high heat. If you're close to a airport with a weather station, we could even get you possibly some wind coverage. And the premium rates on that are anywhere between about 5% to about 11% of total liability. So once again, a very cost-effective policy. The way that we're going to work it is we're going to try to see if you qualify for an APH policy. Then we'll move down the list. If you have a concern for hail, we'll run a quote for you there. If the federal policy doesn't work, or if it's not enough coverage for your ground, then we will run a quote for the parametric and through e-weather. And obviously we will go from there on any adjustments if it works for you or not. One more thing I want to mention, this was obviously really high level, but it was requested by you individuals out there in the country growing hemp. I will be having a farmer grower meeting in Terrebonne, Oregon on the 29th of February starting at noon. If you have any questions or if you'd like to join, please give me a call or shoot me an email. I can send you the information on it. All right, until next time, I thank you for your time and continue to submit the questions. Appreciate it. Thank you.